Welcome, graduates. We are here tonight to celebrate the completion of one chapter and the beginning of the next. We will now ask that everyone please be seated.
Graduados, les damos la más cordial bienvenida a la 11ª celebración de graduación de nuestros estudiantes latinos. Mi nombre es Karen Vanegas, soy una estudiante en mi tercer año en la universidad. Estoy acompañada por mi colega Will Chávez, que es un estudiante en su tercer año. Nosotros seremos sus maestros de ceremonia esta noche. Nos hemos reunido para celebrar los logros no solamente de nuestros estudiantes, pero también de todos ustedes, sus familias y sus amigos que les han brindado su apoyo durante todos estos años. Nuestra comunidad también celebra este logro, ya que esta generación es el futuro de nuestro país.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the University of Maryland, we welcome you to the 11th annual Latino-Latina graduation celebration. It is a special night because we have come to celebrate the major achievements of our students and of you, their families, loved ones, friends, and partners who have supported them in their journey to reach this milestone. We celebrate this event not just as individuals with families, but as an entire community who share the successes of all our students, the future generation of our country.
En el 2004, la Universidad de Maryland conmemoró la primera celebración de graduación de estudiantes latinos. Ese año participaron 50 estudiantes. Hoy están participando más de 100 estudiantes. Estamos orgullosos de que este evento ha crecido y esperamos que el número de estudiantes aumente cada año y continúe siendo un éxito.
Ahora le presentamos a los miembros de la administración universitaria, la facultad y exalumnos que nos acompañan esta noche. At this time, we would like to recognize Maryland administrators, faculty, staff, and alumni who are joining us this evening. Your impact has been monumental through your support, mentoring, and caring ways. We thank you for all your efforts and ask that at this time you please rise. Can we please give them a huge round of applause?
Now we invite our Chief Diversity Officer and Associate Vice President, Dr. Kumea Shorter-Gooden, to the podium. Ahora me gustaría invitar a la doctora Kumea Shorter-Gooden, nuestra funcionaria de diversidad, a presentar nuestra oradora principal.
Buenas noches. It is wonderful to be here at this fantastic graduation celebration for our Latino community. I am delighted to have the honor to introduce our keynote speaker. Margarita Alonso is currently the Deputy Director of Organizing at the Service Employees International Union, 32BJ, a union that represents 145,000 members across the East Coast. Ms. Alonso has been passionate about making a difference in her community since her time as a student here on campus. She was the very first recipient of La Raza Unida Award, presented annually to a graduating senior who has made a significant contribution to the advancement of the Latino community here on campus. At the end of her first year on campus, she was part of a committee of students that created the first Hispanic Heritage Month celebration, including the first Hispanic Heritage Month Festival. She was also a founding member of Hermandad de Sigma Iota Alpha Chi Chapter, a Latina sorority. As president of her chapter, Ms. Alonso expanded her leadership skills and learned that she enjoyed being in key leadership roles. Ms. Alonso graduated in 1999 with a Bachelor of Science in Operations and Quality Management from the Smith School of Business here at the University of Maryland. Ms. Margarita Alonso.
Buenas noches. ¿Cómo están? Good evening. How is everybody doing tonight? Welcome. Bienvenidos. I am super excited to be here tonight. I feel truly honored and privileged to be here. I never thought that I would be in this role, and I'm really, really excited to do this. Yo nunca me imaginé que yo estuviera haciendo esto hoy día, pero me siento bien honrada y estoy bien orgullosa de estar aquí hoy día con ustedes. I would like to begin by acknowledging those that are here in the room with us today. And I know that we're going to do other acknowledgement throughout the night, but I want to do this because this is part of what I do, and I think it's really important. So first I wanted to acknowledge the graduating seniors. If we could take a moment to acknowledge you, all of your hard work, your determination, and everything that you have done to accomplish this goal. If you could just please rise and take a hand, please. I also want to acknowledge the parents that are here today. It takes all our parents to bring us here, right, so that we have accomplished everything that we've accomplished. If the parents could please stand up. Si los padres se pueden parar, por favor, para darle una mano. And because I know in our families, there are a lot of people that are important. If we have any abuelos here, any grandparents, if you could please stand up. Abuelos. Thank you. And I know it takes a village to raise kids, because I have 2 kids. I have a 4-year-old and a 5-month-old, and I could not do it with all of the support that I have. Any other family members, young, old, that are here, if you could take a moment. Any children that are here to stand up? Stand up. Thank you. And I also wanted to take a moment to say thank you to the university for having this event. This did not exist when I graduated, and it's just phenomenal. So thank you to Yvette, Lerma, and the rest of the staff who put this on, and just to the university for doing this. It's really amazing. So today I'm going to share a little bit about who I am, and then I spent some time thinking about what are the things that I thought would be the most helpful to the graduating seniors. So a few points that I think are important, and that's what I'm going to do today. So first, again, my name is Margarita. I am a really proud Latina. I work for a union as an organizer, and I feel really fortunate to really honestly love what I do. I absolutely love my job. I help people organize so that they can win more money, so that they can win health care, so they can win respect on the job. I've worked with janitors, people who clean offices. I've worked with security guards. Now I'm working with people that work at the airport. And to my surprise, there are folks at the airport that make minimum wage, and some people, like the wheelchair attendants, actually make less than minimum wage because they're expected to be tipped. But the problem is that a lot of folks don't know that this group of people are supposed to be tipped, so they're making less than minimum wage, which is really insane. One of the driving forces for me in organizing has always been fighting and winning for health care. I grew up in a household that didn't have health care, and the most stressful times in my life were when my mom got sick. Fortunately, it didn't happen very often, but the times that she did get sick, we didn't know if she was going to be able to get the health care that she needed. We didn't know how the bills were going to get paid while she wasn't working. And so I feel really, really lucky that I know that I can help people win that and win that stability for themselves and for their families and for their kids. So, yo trabajo para una unión, para un sindicato, y yo trabajo ayudando a las personas a ganar aumentos de salario, ganar seguro médico y respeto en el trabajo. Yo organizo a personas que limpian oficinas, a los guardias de seguridad que protegen los edificios, y ahora estoy trabajando con las personas que trabajan en el aeropuerto. Y una de mis motivaciones en organizar siempre ha sido peleando y ganando seguro médico. Yo cuando me crié, en mi familia nosotros no teníamos seguro médico, y en los momentos que yo creciendo, esos eran momentos que me daban mucho estrés porque yo no sabía si mi mamá no estaba trabajando, cómo íbamos a pagar los biles. Y si mi mamá estaba enferma, cómo ella iba a recibir el cuidado que necesitaba. Y entonces yo me siento orgullosa de saber que el trabajo que yo hago ayuda a que las personas puedan conseguir eso. So in the things that I thought about in terms of sharing with all of you today, I think I'm just going to get right into it. We did a short survey, and thank you for all of you that responded. And one of the things that came back the most was that people are thinking about their work and thinking about the jobs that they're going to get, and a little bit worried and anxious about what that future holds. And so I wanted to give some advice and some thoughts on what I think would be really helpful in that process. When I was looking for work, I did something mostly out of luck, but I think something that was really helpful. I spent about 8 months after I graduated really digging and looking for what it would be that I would spend a lot of my life doing. I was already working at Casa of Maryland at that point, and I knew that I was close to something that I could imagine myself doing for a long time, but I wasn't quite there yet. And so I talked to a lot of people. I spent time looking online, looking at jobs that I could qualify for and jobs that I couldn't qualify for. And I think what was the most important in that process was that I narrowed it down to very specifically what would be my ideal. And so I wanted to become an organizer, and I wanted to become a good organizer. So I was looking for an organization that was doing real work. I wanted to work for a union that was big and had power, where I could get paid a decent wage, and where I would have opportunity to grow. And I've heard people say that the universe expands and allows you to fulfill your dreams, and I really feel like that happened to me. And I think that if you get really narrow and you think, what would be my dream? What would be my ideal? Not just get a job for a job's sake, and you may have to do that for a short period of time, but really think like long term, what would be your contribution that you can make, and how can you make that contribution? And think about that, and don't be limited by what you have now, but think long term. Where would I like to be in 10 years? What is a job that I would like to be doing? And focus on that. And when I figured out what I wanted to do, I had to start as an intern. And I hadn't figured that out until after I graduated, so I had to do that after I graduated. But I felt okay with that because I knew that I was working towards my goal. And I felt motivated to do that internship because I knew I was gaining the skills that it would allow me to get to the goal that I wanted to get to. So I think that's really important. The other thing that I wanted to talk to everyone about is the idea of taking care of yourself. In my job and through a lot of friends who work in other careers, a lot of folks work really hard early on, they burn out, and they end up having to change careers. But also, not even just through working really hard, sometimes we just have bad habits. And I just wanted to talk about two things. One is about taking care of your physical body. We have one body that God has given us, and this body will be with us tomorrow. It will be with you in 10 years. It will be with you when you're 60. And what you do with it will determine what your quality of life will be. And so I just urge you to think about that. Think about how you take care of yourself so that you have a really good quality of life and you're not, plagued with diseases or things that a lot of folks have to suffer with. The other thing that I think is really important, and I've struggled with this some, a lot of my friends have struggled with this, is finances. One of the key things that is really, really important, and I think because you are all so young and you have the opportunity to get started on the right foot, I would say always learn to live below what you make. So if you make $1,000 a week, spend less than $1,000 a week. If you make $5,000 a month, spend less than $5,000 a month. Because the problem is that if you spend more than you make, how are you going to cover that? With credit cards. And once you start living with credit card debt, you're just giving your money away every day, a little bit at a time. And I had credit card debt. Trust me, I understand. When I was on campus, I had to work. I'm sure many of you have had to work to be able to graduate. I had to put my books on a credit card at times because I didn't know how else to pay for them. So, okay, they're going on the credit card. But credit card, the interest rate is huge. And so if you get into the habit of spending less than you make, it's a good way to start setting your foundation down. The other thing, and I think this is a little bit unique to my experience and how I've approached life, but I think it's really important, so I thought it was worth sharing with you, is the idea that you can and have the ability to relate to anyone. And this is something that I struggled with, and part of my job as an organizer has been to bring people together. But as I started to move up in my career, a lot of the meetings that I would go to, the people that I had to work with, were becoming less and less diverse. And I struggled with figuring out how to relate with people that were really different than me, that had grown up differently, that looked differently than me, that acted differently than me, that did things that were different than I did. And I remember being in a meeting where we were meeting with a company, and it was the meeting with the company that owned the company was there, folks from the union were there, and I was the only woman in the meeting, and I was the only person of color. And I was like, ooh, you know? And it was like, I could either shut down, or I could decide to step up and figure out how to relate to people and get to know people and connect with people in a real way, even if they were really different than me. And one of the things that I reflected on in that period in my life, I had read Nelson Mandela's autobiography. If anyone has read that, it's an amazing book. And one of the things that really struck me about him was that he was always trying to connect with people. He learned the language of the people that were oppressing his people just so that he could connect better with them. He would try to organize, and when he was in jail, the prison guards. I don't know if I could do that, but it was really amazing how curious and eager and earnest he was about it. And I thought, if he can do that, I can also step up to the plate. And so I would say, don't wait till that moment. As you go into your careers, seek out people that are different than you. Seek out mentors that are different than you. Just because they look different than you, they can give you a lot of advice, and they can help you in your process and in your growth. So those are the things that I thought would be the most helpful in looking back and reflecting on my life and thinking what I hope will help guide you in your journey. And so the last thing that I wanted to just share was one of the workers once that we were organizing once said to an organizer, "Time waits for no man." And so I say to you, time waits for no man and waits for no woman. And so don't wait. Start tomorrow. Get out there. Search your dream job. Go out and find what it is that you're going to contribute to this world. Take care of yourselves along the way. Build a strong foundation. Break ground as you go and connect with people that are different than you. Honor your parents, your families, your grandparents, people that have struggled so that we could have the opportunities that we have today. Go out there and make a difference. I know that you can, and I'm eager to hear about everything that you're going to do. And so I'll leave you with a little union chanting, because that's what I do. So, ¿se puede? We'll try again. ¿Se puede? Sí, se puede. ¿Se puede? Sí, se puede. One more time. ¿Se puede? Sí, se puede. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Alonso. We appreciate you being with us today to celebrate our graduates and sharing your story. On behalf of the Latino Graduation Celebration Planning Committee and the 2015 graduates, please accept this small token.
Cada año, el comité de la celebración solicita que miembros de la comunidad universitaria nominen a los estudiantes más destacados. Estos estudiantes han sido nominados por sus logros durante sus carreras universitarias. El premio es en honor de Carolina Rojas Barr, en reconocimiento al incansable trabajo de nuestra amiga y consejera. Each year, the Latino Graduation Celebration Committee asks members of the university community to nominate excellent students. These students are nominated because of their accomplishments during their college career. The award is named in honor of the incomparable work of our friend and advisor, Carolina Rojas Barr.
Para dar entrega a estos premios, invitamos al director de la Oficina de Educación Multiétnica, Dr. Christopher Lester. Dr. Christopher Lester, Director of Office of Multi-Ethnic Student Education, will now present the Carolina Rojas Barr Award, recognizing an outstanding undergraduate student for his or her contribution to the university.
Buenas noches. This year's recipient of the Undergraduate Student Award is Maria Coelho, a civil engineering major, has been involved with the UMD chapter of Engineers Without Borders for the last 3 years, with which she has involved in a water sanitation project that was working to provide clean water for a small rural community in Peru. During this time, Maria has also supported her peers through her work in SEEDS, a mentoring program for first-year and transfer engineering students, as well as the academic success and tutorial services during which she provided more than 100 hours of contact. Her commitment to improving the communities around her is clear. Please join me in congratulating Maria. Maria, please come to the stage to accept your award.
Hi, everyone. Good night. I would like to thank the Latino Graduation Committee for choosing me as this year's recipient of the award. This recognition means a lot to me, and I feel very proud and honored to be here today. Today is a special day for all of us who are part of the Latino community here at the University of Maryland. Despite all of us being grateful to this country, to the University of Maryland, to the state of Maryland, we recognize that it is not easy at all being a foreigner and fight every day for academic and professional accomplishments. Our efforts in general require huge sacrifices in our parts and in the parts of our families. Today, we all deserve to celebrate one of our most outstanding accomplishments, our graduation. Because each day of this past 4 years, I know all of us have worked very hard to get to this moment. From now on, we will all start a new challenge as professionals and contribute to the development of this wonderful country and society that which we are all part of. I am sure that each one of us will do our best. I would like to give a special thanks to the university, to our professors and advisors, and all our families present here today for the support they have given us. I would also like to thank the University of Maryland, the state of Maryland, and this country for welcoming us and making this land our home too. Thank you very much. Muchísimas gracias. Muito obrigado.
Now we will have Dr. James McSahy, Associate Director here at the Adele H. Stamp Student Union, present the award to the exceptional graduate student. Ahora, para entregar el premio al estudiante graduado excepcional, invitamos a Dr. James McSahy.
Buenas noches. It gives me great pleasure to announce the Graduate Student Award recipient. His name is David Colón-Cabrera. David will be receiving his doctorate in anthropology He is also the former president of our graduate student government here at the University of Maryland. As one of the nominators who submitted a letter for him said, David possesses leadership ability to inspire and activate others to be passionate about issues at hand and to take appropriate action. He leads through example and modeling the way, always being the first to volunteer to be on a committee, to attend meetings to represent and voice the needs and experiences of graduate students, and also to exude passion for supporting graduate students and those who are most underserved. David's contributions to the university and beyond are truly worthy of this award. Please join me in congratulating David.
I'm really humbled that my friends and coworkers, Sonia, Corey, and Jackie, thought of me for this award. And I'm really thankful that this type of award exists to recognize excellence among Latino students at the University of Maryland. So I came here in 2008 from Puerto Rico for my PhD, and I have grown so much since then. I learned what it's like to be Latino here in the US, because as a Puerto Rican, I came in with a privileged position that I did not quite understood until I moved here. So I'm here because of my mommy. May she rest in peace. She was a nurse, and she inspired my research and my career development. So her community involvement in our neighborhood inspired me to learn about the bigger impacts of local health problems. And often she volunteered to take care of the elderly who could not afford a nurse visit. So my three sisters who are here today and I tag along, which exposed me to the realities of populations for whom healthcare access was not guaranteed. So after she was diagnosed with cancer years later, she stopped working and we lost access to healthcare. And then after her passing, our community, including her coworkers at the clinic, took care of my sisters and I. So for me, this is huge. Me graduating with a PhD is something people back in my neighborhood are celebrating with my family and I. Thank you. As a first-generation student, I complemented my education with various service experiences that brought home the gravity of health disparities, both in Puerto Rico and here in Maryland. So working, living, and volunteering here in PG County opened my eyes to the inequalities faced by research-challenged Latino and migrant communities. For my dissertation, instead of doing the typical anthropological international work, I decided to focus on my own county. And my fieldwork in local community clinics here in PG taught me a great deal about the role of prenatal services and how those services are provided to underserved and migrant populations. As a Latino man pursuing a graduate degree, I was always welcomed by the healthcare providers. Staff members kept telling me, we need people like you to do this kind of work. We need people like us. So people like us means us right here. It means gays, Latinos, members of the LGBT. It means Afro-Latinos. It means people with all of us. It means all of us with a particular set of experiences. So I'm glad to be here celebrating our success tonight, celebrating our collective success as a community. And this is excellent because my experience has told me that sometimes we ourselves are the ones who are able to provide global answers to local problems. So it takes a village, and I'm here representing my village. And my village is right here with me. My boyfriend and my family who have been with me throughout this path are here tonight, and I want to acknowledge them. Mis abuelas que han estado conmigo todo este tiempo, que han sido mis madres, es la ausencia de mi mami. Gracias a mi familia por estar aquí. Esto es para mi mamá. Thank you.
Felicitaciones una vez más a María Coelho y a David Colón-Cabrera.
Congratulations again to our award recipients. Okay, now the time that everyone has been anxiously waiting for, recognizing and honoring our graduates. Before we begin, just a friendly reminder to refrain from approaching the stage with cameras so that we can keep the aisles clear, make it safe for our graduates who worked so hard all this time. So please refrain from taking pictures up close. We will have the pictures online, and feel free to take pictures at the end of the ceremony.
En este momento comenzaremos el reconocimiento de cada estudiante para recompensar todo su trabajo aquí en la Universidad de Maryland. Por favor, no se acerquen al escenario. Esta área está reservada para el fotógrafo profesional y las fotos las podrán encontrar en nuestra página web. Gracias.
Can the graduates please have your card ready so we can read them? Héctor Escobar Álvarez. David Colón-Cabrera. Gerson Rivera. María de Pilar Arce. Luis González. Freddy Chacón Rueda. Stephanie Gutiérrez Munguia.
Evelyn López. Adán García. María Eduarda Monteso Coelho. Elvira Urias. Samantha Cruz. Gabriela Gómez. Ángela Ferrufino. Shirin Ibrahim.
Natalie Cruz Castillo. Adriana Cervantes Medina. Kenia Villatoro Benítez. Sirene Ángela Roque. Margarita Lugo. Jacqueline Vasquez.
Gregory Fuentes. María Arias. Diana López. Jamie Harmon. Kelly Ponce de León. Shirley Murillo. Nancy Alfaro. Y Beverly Girón. Ana Lobo Panameño. Saraí Islas. María Arias. Ingrid Amaya. Cecia Cruz. Elisa Besadi. José Guillermo Martínez.
Kelly Carrera. Rubilia Umansor. Mayra Ordóñez. Cynthia Campos. Wanda Ramírez.
Valeria Espinosa. Brent Moran. Walter Suárez. Andrea Bagwell. Kevin Magarin. Jennifer Martinez.
Sofía Vega Ormeno. Fabio Fajardo. Mónica Flores. Juliana Costolev. Ruth Chambergo Juicia. Diana García.
Nicole Laura. Blanca Bejarano. Brianna Guerrero. Stephanie Rodríguez. Odalis López. José Granados. Linda Jocelyn Herrarte. Judy Carmaco. María Rivera. Mariah, I'm sorry.
Brianna Perea. Patricia Leveroni. María Espinosa. Sergio Castro. Steven Ezequiel. María Sánchez. Mónica Morales. Daniel Farias. Rocio Rosa. Kevin Hernández.
Jennifer Quintana Turcios. Dries Villaman. Ashley Matos. Gabriela Vergara. Wilson Maldonado. Roxana Arrué Cisneros. Fabián Castro. Obed Molina. Luis Catacora. Melina Misri. Florencia Saniuk. Elizabeth Bautista Geiger. Silvano Altamirano. José Umaña. Ángela López. Blanca Castillo Machado.
Vanessa Sorto. Yesenia Romero. Valeria Nogales. Frankie Mena. Daniel Riveros. Brendan Flowers. Angelica Brown. Teresa Saudera. Melquín Ramos. Ana Mejía García. Allison Yunda. Heidi Rosales.
Stephanie Santos. Diana Villatoro Sancho. Andrea Herrera. Ashley Sharp. Carly Morales. Kaylin Ford. Sheila Guevara. Glenda Moran. Rebeca Jiménez.
Verónica Marín. Noé Rivera. Cris Guerra. Eric Maravilla. Evelyn Garcia. Victoria Bell. Ruth Cabrera.
Gerson Elias. Caitlin Crowley. Tiara Edison. Caroline Sales Knight.
Can we have one more round of applause for the graduates here today? As many of us can attest, reaching graduation has been a journey. Several years of hard work, dedication, countless all-nighters. Yeah, countless all-nighters, and many, many cups of coffee. While today, we recognize the individual efforts of all of our graduates, we want to take the opportunity to acknowledge the many individuals who have unconditionally supported these students. You, the parents, husbands, wives, partners, children, extended families, faculty members, advisors, and friends have played an instrumental role in helping these graduates reach their milestone. Without your love, encouragement, mentoring, emotional, and of course, financial support, we would not be able to gather here this evening and celebrate this monumental graduation.
Este evento fue establecido para dar reconocimiento a los logros y esfuerzos de los graduados que han trabajado arduamente a través de varios años para llegar a este día. Aunque los esfuerzos de cada estudiante han sido muy importantes, también sabemos que han sido muchas las personas que los han apoyado en sus carreras académicas. Ustedes, los padres, madres, parejas, hermanos y hermanas, primos, tíos, abuelos y amigos que les han brindado su apoyo, amor, ánimo y ayuda financiera para ayudarles en este camino. Sabemos de sobra que han sido muchos los sacrificios que han pasado y en este día los reconocemos a ustedes también. Un aplauso, por favor.
At this time, will the graduates please stand? And face the audience and give a heartfelt applause to honor your parents, families, and loved ones who have made your presence here possible. Yeah, you're applauding your parents and families.
I would like to invite Gerson Elias, a recent alumnus of the university, to provide some words of wisdom for our graduates. Graduates, please sit. Ahora invitamos a Gerson Elias, un exalumno de la universidad, para dar unas palabras sabias para los graduados.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gerson Elias, and I'm the current president of the Latino Alumni Network here at the University of Maryland. Buenas noches a todos. Mi nombre es Gerson Elias y yo soy el presidente de la Asociación de Graduados de Latinos aquí en la Universidad de Maryland. Antes que nada, felicidades a todos los graduados. First and foremost, just a congratulations to all the graduates. You did it. It happened. I was invited to give some closing remarks. Me invitaron a dar unas palabras para terminar. pero esto va a ser más una bienvenida para ustedes. This will be more of a welcome to the Maryland Alumni Association. Va a ser una bienvenida para la Asociación de Graduados de la Universidad. Este es un gran logro para todos los graduados, para sus familias, sus amigos, profesores, facultades de la universidad y la comunidad latina. Ustedes no solo son de los pocos en ir a la universidad siendo latinos, pero son de los aún más pocos que se lograron graduar y que han sacado su carrera. Eso es de gran orgullo para nosotros. This is a great accomplishment for everyone, the graduates, your family, your friends, your professors, the UMD staff, and the Latino community. Not only are you one of the few Latinos to graduate from college, you're one of the very few to come to college, but you're one of the few to actually graduate from college. So that's something to be very proud of. Ahora que comienzan un nuevo capítulo en sus vidas como graduados de la universidad, yo quiero ser el primero en darles la bienvenida a la Asociación de la Universidad de Maryland y más especialmente a la red de latinos graduados. Este grupo existe para avanzar los intereses de la comunidad latina del pasado, presente y futuro de la universidad. Ustedes ahora siguen siendo parte de la universidad por medio de esta red. As you prepare to embark on a new chapter in your lives, as alumni of the University of Maryland, I would like to be the first to welcome you to the University of Maryland's Alumni Association, and more importantly, to the Latino Alumni Network. The Latino Alumni Network exists to advance the interests of the present, past, and future Latino community. You are still part of this community even now that you're graduating. I'm very excited the Latino Alumni Network is active, and we are currently planning many social and professional events, so I encourage you to stay connected and to become an official member. This is a great way to be part of the Latino community at Maryland and to give back to your community. To learn more and to receive a small gift, I invite you to stop by our table at the end so you can receive this gift and so you can learn more information about how to join. Estoy muy contento de que la red de latinos graduados de la universidad está activa y estamos planificando muchos eventos sociales y profesionales para los graduados. Les invito a los graduados a que pasen a nuestra mesa al final a recibir un pequeño regalo y para recibir más información de cómo seguir involucrados. Once again, congratulations to all the graduates, and thank you to the families and friends for your support, because it truly goes a long way. I'm sure all the graduates here can attest to that. Una vez más, felicidades a los graduados y muchas gracias a las familias y amigos por su apoyo. Sé que significa mucho para los graduados y todos aquí estarían de acuerdo si les preguntáramos. Felicidades and go Terps!
Before we leave for the evening, we would like to thank all of our sponsors and supporters who have made this evening possible. The Association of Latino Professionals in Finance and Accounting, College of Arts and Humanities, the Latino Alumni Network, MICA, Multicultural Involvement and Community Advocacy, a unit of the Adele H. Stamp Student Union, Office of Diversity and Inclusion, Office of Multi-Ethnic Student Education, the Office of Undergraduate Studies, and the Graduate School. If you would like to be a sponsor for the graduation, please see a staff member at the check-in table. Si usted también quisiera ser patrocinador de la graduación, por favor vea a un miembro del comité en la mesa de registración.
We also want to thank the Latino Graduation Celebration Committee members for their dedication and commitment to the event. Maria Diaz, Brandon Dula, Yvette Lerma, Joanna Rafael, and Tunji Sawyer. Thank you. Yvette, where are you? A special round of applause for Yvette. Al final de la ceremonia están invitados a que nos acompañen a la recepción. Please join us in celebrating our graduates at a light reception. Graduates, please don't forget to pick up your certificate recognizing your participation in tonight's event at the check-in area. Thank you for coming. Gracias por venir a este evento. Felicitaciones and congratulations.
So graduates, please stand one more time. And let's give them all the biggest round of applause possible, please. Thank you very much for coming. Congratulations.